Many Apple workers who worked on the company's top-secret automobile project, internally codenamed Titan, had to refer to it by a less attractive moniker for the previous 10 years: the Titanic tragedy. They were aware of the project's high failure rate. The automobile project was abandoned and restarted many times throughout its lifespan, resulting in the loss of hundreds of personnel. Leaders' divergent opinions on what an Apple car should be led to the company, starting as an electric car to take on Tesla, and then evolving into a self-driving vehicle to take on Google's Waymo. According to 6 people who worked on the project over the past 10 years, Apple had spent more than $10 billion on it by the time it died on Tuesday, when executives announced internally that the project was being killed and that many team members were being reassigned to work on artificial intelligence. The car had returned to its original state as an electric vehicle with features rivaling that of Tesla. The failure of the automobile project served as evidence of Apple's difficulties in creating new goods in the years after Steve Jobs' death in 2011. 4 distinct leaders led the endeavor, and there were many layoffs. However, the main reason it festered and eventually died was that it was too hard to construct the algorithms and software for an autonomous automobile. Apple declined to comment. An associate professor at the University of South Carolina's Law and Engineering faculties, Bryant Walker-Smith, told Apple in a short conversation in 2015 that when it started, it was aligning the stars on something Apple alone could hit a home run on. The stars have shifted to make this a lot of risk and not much gain 10 years later. When Apple began working on a car project in 2014, it was one of several businesses, executives, investors, and engineers vying for the concept of an autonomous vehicle. Autonomous cars were predicted to become popular in Silicon Valley when Google started testing prototypes on public highways in California. Apple wanted to stay ahead of the curve. According to 3 persons acquainted with the initiative's beginnings, the business was answering inquiries from its best engineers about its next project. After completing the Apple Watch, many engineers were eager to start working on a new project. Apple CEO Tim Cook authorized the idea, in part, to stop engineers from leaving for Tesla. Apple also needed to come up with fresh ideas for growing its clientele. The business had projected that iPhone sales would decline in the following years. Automobiles belong to a $2 trillion transportation sector that might benefit Apple, valued at around $200 billion. According to the 6 individuals acquainted with the project, the team realized they were up against tough realities, even if Apple's CEO had given them a vote of confidence. An Apple automobile, if it ever made it to market, would probably cost at least $100,000 and make pennies on the dollar compared to smartphones and earphones. It would also appear years after Tesla had taken the lead in the industry. 2 persons with knowledge of the negotiations said that the firm and Elon Musk had some conversations about the purchase of Tesla. However, in the end, it concluded that creating its automobile was a better option than purchasing and assimilating a different company. Mr. Musk did not respond to a request for comment. Those who know the project indicated that conflicting ideas about what should be played did initially. The project's original leader, Steve Zadesky, intended to create an electric car that could rival Tesla. The software team suggested creating a self-driving automobile, which is what Apple's chief design officer, Jony Ive, wants to explore. With $155 billion in cash at the time, Apple lavishly hired hundreds of individuals with backgrounds in machine learning, artificial intelligence, and other fields essential to developing a self-driving vehicle. Due to the large number of foreigners unfamiliar with Apple's culture, this project was one of the first the business had produced. By this year, the automobile team employed almost 2,000 people, including engineers who had previously worked as racing developers for NASA and Porsche. The team created several innovations, such as a sunroof with a unique polymer to block solar heat and a windscreen that could provide turn-by-turn instructions. Star executives like Mr. Ive and Bob Mansfield, the director of Mac Engineering, got engaged to help boost morale and provide leadership. The business bought several startups to join the automotive team. In 2021, Apple appointed Kevin Lynch, the executive responsible for the well-known Apple Watch, as project manager to ensure the car's success. Mr. Ive and his design team created concepts for an automobile that would resemble a European minivan, such as the Fiat Multipla 600, which has a curved roof and 6 windows. The automobile was operated by Siri, Apple's virtual assistant, and lacked a steering wheel. Mr. Ive and Mr. Cook met at the project's Sunnydale, California headquarters one day in the autumn of 2015 to see a potential automobile demonstration. The two guys slumped onto the cabin-style chairs. A voice actress outside recited lines from a screenplay that Siri would say as the guys raced down the road in the make-believe automobile. Two individuals acquainted with the experiment claimed that the actor read out the response when Mr. Ive asked Siri what restaurant they had passed. However, it became evident in 2016 that the automobile project needed help. Three individuals familiar with the change said that when Mr. Zadisky departed Apple, Mr. Mansfield, his replacement, informed the project team that they would be concentrating on developing software for self-driving cars instead of automobiles. Apple obtained licenses from California to start driving test drives of Lexus sport utility vehicles with computers and sensors installed. It first had talks with automakers including Mercedes-Benz, BMW, and Nissan before settling on a contract with Volkswagen to provide transporter vans for autonomous shuttles on the Apple site. Two additional executives assumed control of the automobile project in the following years. Former Tesla CEO Doug Field let go more than 200 workers on the project as he focused on developing the company's self-driving technology. Subsequently, Mr. Lynch, his successor in recent years, changed the company's direction and returned to the original concept of producing an electric car. Mr. Mansfield and Mr. Field didn't respond to requests for comment. In an internal meeting on Tuesday, Apple informed staff that its leadership had determined earlier in the year that working on Generative AI would be a more efficient use of the company's resources than developing the automobile. The business announced that certain Project Titan team members will be moved to focus on artificial intelligence. Those who worked on the project hailed the move to close it in interviews with the New York Times on Wednesday, stating that the technology behind generative artificial intelligence, AI, might be crucial to the company's vital iPhone business in the future. Apple's fundamental technology will see its dead automobile project through. According to three individuals informed on the initiatives, the business intends to apply what it has learned about automation and artificial intelligence to other technologies under study, such as robot assistants, augmented reality, and AI-powered AirPods with cameras. While the automation software developers will be able to work on artificial intelligence projects, the other members of the automobile team have been informed that they will need to apply for new positions inside the firm.